So let's start.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. This is your Sergeant at Arms for a couple of meetings from now onwards, Paul Chima. And I welcome each and every one of you to this amazing meeting. I really hope that you get what you joined Toastmasters Club for, be better version of yourself very soon. I would start by reading the mission statement for the Toastmasters International. And this is, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. The theme of today's meeting is new beginning, because we are about to start a new year. So I will like to give you a couple of house rules as well. So please keep your cameras on unless there are some technical issues. We want to see you in person because that is encouraging when you see people in person. And put your cell phones either on mute or just turn them off. Or if you have a bucket of water close by, throw that in the bucket of water. You can take it out later on after he takes a shower. And with that, I hand over the meeting control to our amazing Mr. President, Satish Prabhu. Satish Prabhu, please carry on.
Welcome, everyone. Good evening. We are about to get into holiday mode, and it's also the time when you're also going to get ready to make some New Year resolutions. It's a favorite time of the year where many people have an annual ritual that they follow to set new goals, new objectives, new resolutions to change their life and make themselves better. We as Toastmasters are no different, and I'm sure many amongst us also have some ritual where we set new goals. I know Paul Chima already started on his resolution 2 months in advance. He has shown the way by showing how much he can change your life once you set your mind to it and you can achieve your goal. Similarly, I'm sure Madan Chauhanji, he's also on a mission. I have never seen anybody as active as Madanji. No matter which club or meeting I go to, I find him, and I find him very active. I find him speaking or participating or as a contestant. I saw him as a contestant today. I knew he was a contestant a few days ago. And this is what Toastmasters is all about. It's about being proactive in making your life better. When you joined Toastmasters, you took the first step to make something out of your life, something better, because you know there is something that is lacking. There is something that you need to do to change it, to make it better. And that's what's brought you to Toastmasters. But unfortunately, many amongst us stay there. They take that first step. After that, they are lost. They don't know what to do next. And they expect others to take that decision for them. That's never going to happen. Your life decision is never going to be taken by anybody other than yourself. It will not be your wife. It will not be your son, daughter, your father, mother, or your wife. It has to be you. You want to make a change in your life, it has to be you who make all the steps, put all the effort, and change it. So understanding that is the most important part. And when you become a Toastmaster, you don't only join just to be a good speaker, but also to be a good leader. And leadership is about serving others. not expecting that somebody will tell you, oh, this is what you need to do. You have to be proactive. If you are in a leadership role or you want to be a leader, be engaged. Engage yourself as much as you can and be part of the process in the club. We are not going to tell you do this or do that. If you take on a role, you need to go and do the research. If you are going to be a speaker next week or the week after, you know what you have to do. You're going to prepare a speech. Similarly, if you're taking a role as a general evaluator or as an evaluator or any other role, and if you're not very confident, reach out, do the research. You have the tool, you have the website in front of you. Get all the necessary information that you need to do as a researcher would and learn about that role as much as you can and equip yourself, make yourself stronger and confident to tackle that role when you show up in the meeting. Many times I find most of us just show up in the meeting and have no clue what we are expected to do and how we are supposed to do it. That is a poor sign of a Toastmaster or as a person in any field. So having said that, we are in holiday mode. I have made, the thought just came to my mind today morning and I reached out to Paul and I hope we can do something next Sunday. I know there is no meeting, but I wanted to see if we can get together again on a Zoom meeting just like this. Spend an hour, maybe bring your other half, your kids, your whoever, a family, and just join together and maybe have a 1 hour, 1.5 hour get together where we can share not just our faces, but the faces of our family members. See if we can do this. I mean, we can also have fun. If you guys have any ideas about having a quiz or maybe some fun games, online games that we can run, let's do it. And I don't want to set an agenda. So let's be very clear. This is about having fun, but we don't want to have an agenda. So we'll meet again maybe at 4:30 or 5 in the evening or an hour earlier, and maybe we can finish by 6 o'clock. So then you have a rest of your evening that is free. And this is going to be after Christmas. So everybody is going to be home, hopefully, and everybody can join and get your family to join in on the fun. If you have any good ideas, let's share over the next few days and let's put some kind of a program in place and say, okay, I'm going to run this game or I'm going to run this quiz or I'm going to run a table topics on something related to the holidays or Christmas. How about that? Maybe we can discuss this after the meeting is over, but I just wanted to put the seed in your brain right now. And then maybe after the meeting, we can have an extended discussion. So
maybe we can have lunch and fun together.
Absolutely.
Bring your food on the table and let's share it together.
Sure, yeah. Yep. Absolutely, yeah. So that's called bonding. So bonding with everyone, trying to know more about each one of you, your life, what you do. I know what happens behind the scenes that we don't see because all you see is your cameras and we only see you, the nice you, but we want to meet the extended family that you have. What else happens in your, maybe you can share some tidbits about your life so we get to know you more and better. We had one opportunity in the picnic, but we don't see COVID going away very soon because COVID keeps bringing more and more army, like Omicron. I don't know what else. The next might be, oh my God, so we need to see what we can do as people and be more creative and get over this COVID and find better ways of coming and staying together and bonding together. So happy holidays to you, and we can meet on Sunday. So those who are free, let's join and we'll meet again, okay? So I'll just pass it back to our chair of the day. Welcome, Paul Shima. He's chairing the meeting today. He's doing a lot of different roles. So let's welcome Paul to take over the meeting.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Paul, may
President.
I ask you first, what's your timing? Is it 18 to 22 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, I just discovered that today. I didn't even know that. But anyways, thank you very much, Mr. Prabhu. That is a great offer to be together this coming Sunday and maybe have lunch or coffee together and just chit chat. Let's share our personal stories if it's okay. It should be out of a Toastmaster agenda, and that's good thing to know that you don't have any agenda. And there is no hidden agenda too. I know he's an honest man. So
Other than maybe finding how much money everybody has.
and that will be a free event to join. We will not charge anyone any cent for joining the extra meeting on Sunday. So we'll set up a time and let me know if you are willing to come. So coming over, my second hat, did my face just turn blue now because I'm wearing another hat, Toastmaster of the day? I'm blue now? Okay, good. So now with that, I would like to invite our role players to explain their roles. So we have a new member. He's a guest today, but we will make his membership active from January. I saved him some money here. So we'll make him active from January onwards. Happy New Year and happy membership that day. With that, I would like to invite our timer, Mr. Madan Chauhan, DTM. Mr. Madan Chauhan, please, can you explain your role and show the timing cards, please?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and above all, our guest, new guest, Fareed. Timing is very important. With anything you say, do, as you probably heard many times, time is money. And if we value that, then we should value the time. And speeches normally are 5 to 7 minutes. In this case today, Paul Chima's speeches would 18 to 22. At 18, I will show green card. At 20, I will show yellow card. At 22, I will show red card. So that's how it will be. And with my speech, it's about 5 to 7 minutes. 5 will be green, 6, 7, and yellow will be red. Red will be 7 minutes. So that's how I'm going to be speeches. And for the table topics, this is standard is 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute green, 1.5 minutes yellow, 2 minutes red. And I will give the report when I'm asked for to do it. Thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you very much for very thoroughly explaining the role of a timer. Now, can I invite our grammarian? And grammarian's role is being done by Shilpa, but I know that Mr. Bukhari also opted for grammarian role. Mr. Bukhari, do you want to take over this role?
Grammarian, that's fine. She can do it.
Are you okay take the role?
No, she can do it because the thing is, I have to leave early. I just found out, so she can do it.
I have to chain you to the chair, man. Next time. Yeah, no early for you.
Okay.
So welcome. Please give a big round of applause to our grammarian and our counter, Shilpa, as she explains her role, how the grammarian role is run. Please pay attention.
As a grammarian, I'll be taking in charge of our counters. Like I should, okay, sorry, let me come back. I'll be counting words that may be inappropriate interjections, like such as like, but, you know, and sounds like and er used by anyone who speaks in the meeting. At the end, when General Evaluator calls me, I'll be providing the R counter report. And the word of the day is hyperbole. And the 10 times. So every speaker, if it is they use it's 10 times, that's good. So over to you, General Evaluator.
Every speaker 10 times, that's a lot.
Sorry,
That's an hyperbole.
It's an hyperbole. So
Yeah,
10 times overall, we should speak at least this word of the day 10 times. So we have a challenge here Please
Actually,
keep
explain the
being-
meaning of it.
Yes, can you explain the meaning of hyperbole, Shilpa?
Yes, hyperbole means an extravagant statement or figure of speech not intended to be taken literally, as to wait an eternity. Is one more meaning is it's a noun and obvious and intentional exaggeration. And hyperbole is unacceptable when speaking in court. And the example sentence is, his claim to be the smartest kid in the school was a bit of a hyperbole. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Madam Grammarian Shilpa. And now, please help me welcome our quiz master to explain quiz master role, Haseen Ahmed, up on stage, please.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. My role as a quiz master at the end of the meeting, I will count, like during the meeting, I will count, like there were some questions. So I will just ask you at the end of the meeting that about the speakers, that what they were talking. So the purpose of this is to have active listening, that how attentive you were during the meeting, during the speeches. So at the end, I will ask few questions, and all would be, I will ask anyone, like I will ask the question and then anyone can give me the answer. So that is the basic purpose of that. Thank you so much. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quizmaster. That was fabulously discussed. And guys, like he said, it is test of active listening. So make sure you are paying attention, you're listening to speeches, and because Toastmasters is not only delivering speeches, it's about listening and processing information as well. It's not hearing, hearing is a part of listening. So it's complete processing of the information.
Excuse me
With
for
that,
1
I
minute, I have to
will-
rush to the washroom, then come back.
No, you can't go. I would like to invite our general evaluator to give a brief description of the role. Mr. G. Satish Prabhu.
Thank you, Chair. General evaluation is the last and final segment of any meeting, Toastmasters regular meeting. As you all know, there are 3 sessions in the whole meeting. The first one is where we have prepared speeches. The second one is where we do table topics, which tests your impromptu speaking skills. And the third one is where you evaluate the first 2 sessions. So your evaluation consists of a team led by the general evaluator, the evaluators, the quiz master, the timer. They all give a report, including the grammarian. So at the end of the session, we all get an evaluation, which is a feedback about how well we did, what are the different things we can improve on. And the final thing that happens in this evaluation session is the general evaluator's report, which will basically describe the whole meeting in total. So the general evaluator evaluates the whole meeting in total. The grammarian only gives how we did as part of the language, the speech. The timer tells us how effective we were with the timing part of it. The quiz master tests our listening skills. That's what a general evaluator does. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. GE, for explaining the role for the sake of understanding by the guest and the new member, Farid. So now comes our first session, which is prepared speeches. And because Madan Chauhan is also a timer, I would ask someone to time Mr. Madan Chauhan's speech for 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes will be green, 6 minutes will be yellow, and 7 minutes would be.
I can do it myself. That's okay.
Well, I want you to focus on your speech.
Okay, that's okay then.
Yeah. So if there's no one, then I will take up the role. Okay, Mr. Prabhu will take up that. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Prabhu. So once you do that, make sure you send him a text message and he gets it. So can I request our first evaluator? First evaluator is Mr. Haseen Ahmed. Mr. Haseen, can you please tell us about DTM Madan Chauhan's speech and speech objective, please?
Thank you, Mr. Paul. It is a great privilege for me to be the evaluator of Mr. Madan Chauhan, a distinguished Toastmaster. Although it is difficult, but I will try. His speech title is Just Do It. And the speech timing is about 5 to 7 minutes. And he will, and his, like it's a 4th gen graduation. I'm not sure about that. What's that? But his speech title is Just Do It. Distinguished Toastmaster Madan Chauhan, Just Do It.
Thank you very much, Mr. Haseen Ahmed. So make plenty of notes, find out what you liked, what you suggest, and overall expression of the speech as an evaluator. And now, please help me welcome with a big round of applause our first speaker, DTM Madan Chauhan. Just do it. Just do it, Madan Chauhan.
What's this noise there behind? Some noise is there.
Can I ask everyone to please mute their?
Is that okay? All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day and fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Walt Disney once said, "Stop talking, just to do it." Walt Disney once said, "Stop talking, just do it." You probably have seen this symbol many times. This is Nike's trademark. And that happened in 1988. My father been telling me since I'm 4 years old. He was telling me, "Son, in our family, nobody has gone to school. I want you to go to the highest education you can go." And he was telling me, not in the word "just do it," he keep on telling me, "You can do it. I know you can do it." And he, not even financially very well off, but he provided me everything I needed. But he encouraged me at all steps of my life. As a young boy, like many of you, you go to school, you go to college, you do your graduation. So my first graduation,
Mr. Chauhan, seems like you are frozen.
to go and join him in the teaching. So I went to do Bachelor of Teaching. That's my second graduation at the age of 21. Then I started working as a teacher. From there, in 1963, I moved to England. I was working in different places and factories and all that. Then again, a desire come me to go and study. Now I have a family now. I have to support the family. I have to support myself, and I have two dependents on me as well. So it's very hard for you to study with the family and staying away from home and paying the rent there and supporting myself. I tell you, none of my family members supported me. None of my family members encouraged me. Only two friends of mine, they encouraged me. They said, Madan, you can do it. Go ahead and do it. You can do it. Go ahead and do it. And they are also supported me financially as well. So I went to study 1970 at the age of about 35. I graduated. Out of 52 students started, only 21 ended. I did a BSc in computer science. At the age of 35, my teachers were younger than me. So on the strength of my computer science, I started working as a computer programmer, analyst, and all many things in between. So on the strength of that, I moved to Canada in 1981. I started working
Mr. Chauhan has some issues with his internet connection today. I guess we must give him another chance if we could. Can you hear me all?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see everybody else moving except Madanji is frozen.
He's frozen twice.
So it's probably his Wi-Fi connection. Oh, he's
Yeah,
not completely. You are
Do you
on
want
mute,
to-
Madanji.
Is he back?
Okay, I'm back.
Mr.
So
Chauhan,
what happened?
your speech got interrupted 2 times.
Yes.
It is freezing.
Is that okay now?
Yeah, we are okay if you want
I'm
to.
going to restart from where I ended.
Okay.
So when I moved to Canada, I started doing that. I went to the IT and worked there until 23rd of December, 1999. And I came home. I was working in the US. I have no job. I was 60 years old, 61 years old at that time. I was thinking of retiring. But what happened, which I tell anybody, if you are at home and you are with your wife, please don't stay home with your wife, because I have everyday fight, everyday argument, every day something happening on each other. My son got fed up, and he is newly married at that time, and he and his wife were staying with us. He said to me, this is what inspired me. He said, Dad, go and do some courses. I will help you because you are spoiling my life as well. My wife is following you and treating me the same way you are being treated. So I went to Sanka College at the age of 61 to study. So I studied financial finances. It was a 1.5 year course. I finished that. When I graduated, that was my 4th graduation. Look like this. At the age of 62. My grandchildren attended that function of my graduation. And they were only young, they were about 5 or 6 years old. They still tell me, Grandpa, We are so happy we saw you. You inspired us at that time. So that was my 4th graduation, and I learned it just to do it. Only you can do it. Nobody else can do it. I say with the quote, you can take a horse to the water. You cannot make the horse drink water until you motivate the horse to drink water. And the motivation comes from most of the time from inside than from outside. But sometimes you have to do it and motivate it and do that. So that was my lesson I learned. Nobody can else do things for me. Only I can do it, whatever I want, how I want. I can procrastinate or I can just do it. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chauhan. Now I will like timer to time us for 1 minute. Silence, please, for evaluators to take their notes.
I do feel sorry for the internet to happen.
That's okay. Just pay us $50. We're fine with it.
It's cheaper to find a new provider, $39.
One minute is over. Thank you very much, Mr. Prabhu, for taking over this timer's job. So now, may I invite our second evaluator, Anupama Modgil, to introduce the amazing speaker, please. Speech title and the speaker. Objective.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. So I am evaluating today very amazing, fantastic speaker, Mr. Paul. And title of his speech is Just Do Not Do It. As opposite to Mr. Madan's speech. So his speech is from Presentation Mastery Level 5, speech number 1. Prepare to speak professionally, and his timing will be 18 to 22 minutes. The objective of speech is present a keynote style speech amplifying a professional level speaker's point of view or message in a style that supports the speech content. I will call now, So this will be his speech title. Back to you, Mr.
PMOD, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you very much, Madam Anupama Modgil. So may I invite Paul Chima to please present his speech. Paul Chima, just don't do it. Don't just do it. Don't just do it, Paul Chima. There is a sports company which its tagline, just do it, with the check mark. How many of you here just do things? Can I see some hands here? All right. So today, I will change your mindset into don't just do it. To me, just do it is a hyperbole. People do take emotional decisions. Sometimes those decisions could be very bad. Just do it may not apply to each and every situation, each and every decision. And sometimes decision with the mindset of just do it can take you deep down into thousands of feet down into the earth. Better be careful. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guest, I'm going to share my own story where I just did something, but that resulted into me losing one full academic year and also lose my self-respect, cause frustration to my family, and I still haven't forgotten it. That's why we are talking about it today on this platform. I would like to take you back into time. A young guy, hot blood, 20, 22 years old, this Paul Chima. At that time, I was known as Devinder Paul Singh Chima. My initials were DPS. And remember my initials, because these initials have a great bearing to the story I'm going to unfold in front of you. A very tragic story indeed. Oh my God, I get goosebumps when I think about that. And a plan. I'm never ever going to do it. Did you ever do something in your life with the attitude of just do it and then figured out, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that? Anyone? No? Okay, good. I see some hands here. We all do. Just do it doesn't work all the time. Our house tests were due, but before I go there, I will tell you that I was studying 28 kilometers away from my hometown, and I made my family agree that I want to live there in a rented room, you know, young blood, 20, 22 years old, wanted to fly on my own, have my own decisions, want to face the world, real world challenges, and experience it. I was the only one who took that flight to a city all on my own. Didn't know how to cook food, but I just took some utensils and moved to a city known as Patiala in Punjab. I was a med student, and our professor of zoology said, house tests are coming and I want you to practice making permanent slides. If you have never read biology or zoology or botany, maybe it will be hard for you to understand it. But in these subjects, we used to make glass slides, permanent specimens, glass slides. The way the slides are done, there's a little strip of glass, maybe 0.5 millimeter thick, and on that we put a specimen. We wash it, we dry it. It's sometimes a cross section, sometimes a buccal epithelial cells taken from inside your mouth, smeared on the slide. We dry it, we stain it using different stains. I forgot the name of those stains, but I remember we used to stain that. And then a very time-focused process. A 1 second delay means you'll ruin your slide and the whole work has to be repeated again. That was the intent of Professor Sayal, our zoology teacher, that we should master the slides because those carried good marks in the exam. Okay, so during the final steps, there is a compound that we put on the specimen that is laid or smeared on the slide. It is called DPX. Remember, I said, remember my initials, DPS. So here is DPX. Difference is only X and S. People used to relate that to me that I'm a binding force because there was a binding and mounting substance. So I was so amazed that I made a perfect slide and I needed to put the DPX mountant on my slide. So I reached out to the DPX bottle that was lying next to me within my hand's reach. And as I touched the dropper, it just slid under my hand. I said, wow. I looked back in my second row and saw this girl in the same stage of making her slide. She lifted it a millisecond before me. I turned back, my eyes flaring, fire on her. She didn't see me with those angry eyes, otherwise maybe she would have burnt alive. Some friends, they saw my gaze, that DPS is very upset because she stole DPX. And after the class, they actually started singing. So someone stole DPX from DPS, and they wanted to flare up my anger. So I could go back to the girl and start picking a fight with her. I just didn't do it there. Coming from a poor family, my family wouldn't be able to support me in another city if something goes bad. I try to hold myself as much as I can. I was not in a position to fight. I was a frail, thin-looking person with zero existence. Nobody knew Paul Chima in the entire college. I was an invisible person there. But this incident happened that everyone started knowing me. Take a step back in the story. So when the session ended, we were outside the class, in the corridor, we were walking, and these friends, they started pushing me to say something to the girl, and I refused because I didn't have the courage to pick a fight. She was a well-to-do family girl, and I was a poor guy who's barely surviving in a city with minimum resources. But these guys took command. They started bullying her off and on, and it went on for a few days. How far would a girl tolerate this? 2 days, 3 days? One day when it really, the water flew overhead, she turned back and angrily told me, I will teach you a lesson today. I never seen anyone that angry. And she walked away with her friends. I was still holding on to me. And these friends from city of Patiala, what the hell, DPS? She just insulted you. You are a young guy. Can't you teach her a lesson? Totally unmindful of the consequences. I ran to the girl, stopped her in her tracks, and said, I will see you. I'm not weak. I was shaking inside. That particular just do it attitude, so expensive for me, ended up ruining one academic year. The next day, all I saw was professors kicking me out of their classes because they heard it. The news spread like wildfire in the college. My chemistry professor said, you don't need to be in my class, get out of it. The professor kicked me out of his class. Don't be in the classroom, Paul. Then I saw some people trying to find me with batons and swords in their hands. I fled to the safety of my room. I didn't have the courage to come back the next day. My friends told me every day someone is scouting the room and trying to see if you're in the classroom. Gradually, I was so scared, I stopped going to the class. Lost 1 year. Didn't tell my family. Stayed in the room. And eventually they figured out. The next year, my principal did not want me to be admitted to the college. They kicked me out. A shame that dawned on my family. I couldn't tolerate it. I decided I'm never going to do anything emotionally or unmindfully. I will never just do it. Don't just do it. That means I will take a step back on the situation and see if I'm capable of handling the outcome. If I'm not, I'm not. Many of you may not have such experience, but what I want to tell that just do it moment in my life on that spring day, just before the house test, so dangerous to me, which I can never recover. You know, when you're driving, you are not sure of which road to take. You have to take this road, the one that just came next to you. You kept driving, thinking, just do it. Maybe it's the next road. And then you realize, oh, no. I think that was the right road. You come back, you take a U-turn, you go back, you can fix your issues. But the time you lose can never be recovered by your just do it thought process. Always take a step back, always reflect on your abilities and then take an action. When we go to stores, I guess most of you go to Canadian Tires, men usually Canadian Tires, tools section or Home Depot or Walmart. You see for sale sign, item price, regular price $250, sale price $75. Tell me if you won't pick it up. At that moment, you just do it. Take a step back and reflect on the item and your usage. Are you going to use it more than 5 times a month? Yes, maybe it's a good idea. Are you going to use that every other day? Absolutely, pick it up because it's a deal for you. But are you never going to use it? I have some stuff that you purchased because it was dirt cheap. Never you going to open it up. Some got bad, some is smelling bad because it caught algae on that, or fungus. Don't we all do that? Just do it. Very good. You are doing for a noble cause. Like you are walking by and you see some poor who needs food. You stop there and just do it. Give him a gift card, give him food. Well, that's a great gesture to do. Just did something great for humanity because that's what humanity needs from humans. Or you are walking by, see some poor who needs a blanket, and you go home, pick up a blanket, throw it on the guy. At least he can feel warmer in this winter season. It's Christmas season, season of giving. If you see someone, well, give it to him. Isn't that great? Good for just to do it stuff. But when it is making critical decisions, guys, I must tell you, don't just do it. Take a step back and then see, are you okay for this? Can you handle this? Otherwise, it's going to be such a hyperbole incidence for you that you will never be able to recover from it. And let me bring that to our Toastmasters membership. Did you join Toastmasters because you saw some great speaker in a Toastmasters club or as a guest or in a convention or anywhere on YouTube or social media, and the speaker is saying, I didn't know how to speak. I used to do many arms in my speech, and look at how I have improved. And then you said, just do it. I want to be a speaker. You joined the club, you paid the dues, and then you suddenly realize, oh my God, meeting starts 7 o'clock, but I have a client appointment. I'm sorry, I cannot change that. You are unable to change your time because a client wants you to be there. You are not master of your time. Someone else is controlling your time. If you knew that before joining Toastmasters, just don't do it. Stop right there. Figure out what time is good for you. There are 1,000 other clubs which may fit your time schedule. But if you are slave to others, guess what? It's never going to happen. Because leadership begins when you start managing yourself and then you teach that skill to other people how to manage themselves. If you are unable to do that, I wouldn't suggest you joining any club or or joining any commitment if you cannot do that, because we are going never to see you again in the club meetings. How good is that for you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I see there are professionals in this group. I am a professional. I am a mortgage broker. I am a real estate broker. And my time, people try to run me according to their time, but I refuse. On weekends, my time is logged after 5 o'clock. I don't go anywhere. I may lose a deal. I don't care. If they like me, they will come back to me. If they don't, then that's fine. That wasn't my business. You cannot please everyone by following them. So if you are joining any organization, evaluate your skill set. Just don't do it because you feel like doing it. It does not make a good decision. At end of the day, end up bad mouthing an organization, and you will never tell about your own deficiencies. Oh, I joined this organization, and unfortunately, I could not succeed. This was not the right group. You will find tons of excuses. Why? Because you just did it. You're visiting a store. Be careful. Why you are there? What's your purpose? And there are thousands such implications. I guess if I start asking each one of you, what was your biggest purchase you did without thinking, and did you ever use it? I'm sure someone is going to come up with a great story. Anyone has that story? Did you ever buy something that you never used? Because you just did it at that point. If not, I will say you are all very wise, not unwise like I am, because I have done a lot of that stuff. So I will summarize my speech. Just do it. Work great. Helping humanity. There's a catastrophe. Of course, you pay money, you donate. Just do it. Don't overthink it. BC got flooding. Donate. Someone needs money. Donate. Just do it. But when it comes to long-term commitments, don't just do it. And if your decision is going to hurt someone that you can never ever repair, because unfortunately we cannot go back in time and fix those issues. TV shows they have time machines, but in reality, today we don't have time machines. You can't go back and say, apologize. Had I not done that to this girl, and I just apologized and said, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I cannot control these people. I apologize to the hurt caused to you. I'm not involved in it. Please forgive me if you think that way. That one decision changed my life, could have saved 1 year. I could be a different person than what I am today. So guys, again, don't just do it. Think and reflect and then do it. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much, sir. And 1 minute silence for the evaluators. Mr. Timer, can you show us red card after 1 minute? Thank you, Shilpa.
1 minute up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the speeches. And I must say that my speech was totally unprepared. But anyways, I would like to move to the segment 2, which is a funny and fun-filled session. This is our table topics. So for Mr. Fareed, the table topics is impromptu speaking. We don't know what the table topic master is going to ask us. And then whoever he puts his finger on, they have to speak between 1 to 2 minutes. So 1 minute green, 1:30 yellow, 2 minutes red, and speakers can speak up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. But any table topics below 1 minute kind of not counted in the international competition. So just be mindful of that if you're preparing for yourselves. Now, please give a big round of applause to our table topic master, Shilpa. Shilpa, please take away the stage.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Table topics of the day. So the first question
Master of
is,
the day.
the first question is about New Year resolution. And I would like to ask our guest, Fareed. So what are your New Year resolutions and why do you choose that resolution? Why do you want to choose that?
Hello, everyone. New Year resolution is since I recently joined a new company and I want to be very well versed in my job and to learn more and more project management. And apart from this, I also want to marry. And that's my resolution.
Good, thank you. Next question is about our meeting theme. So today's meeting theme is new beginning. And I would like to ask Mohammed Bukhari, share any story of your new beginning. For example, it could be in your job or in your business or when you had first love date with your, something, anything you can share us. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Table Topics Master. Good evening, everyone. And a very interesting question I was asked, like, talk about, a great beginning for something that was brand new for me. If I had to choose, like, if I were to talk about every single beginning, then I'd probably take up the whole entire time. We wouldn't get through anybody. So for the sake of time and for the sake of others, I'm just going to pick one specific point in time, which I felt was like great beginning for me. And that would be, mine is a bit like, we have to go back around like 7-8 years back when I was in grade 12 in high school. So this happened, I still remember vividly. It was during the Christmas holidays, like within a week before schools, right during the new year before school was about to open, my parents found out about this club that was being offered at Malton Community Center. And apparently that club ran for every Sunday, right? Every Sunday of every month. And then they thought, like, this club seems interesting. And then when I first heard about it, like, I had no idea what it was. Like, I heard things about public speaking, leadership, evaluation. What are all these things? I have no idea what they're about. So I went in, and first thing I noticed, the entire room was designed in a U shape, looked like a boardroom, mimic boardroom. I'm like, this is pretty interesting. This whole place was just a hyperbole for me. It was something I couldn't even take in. And then right then and there, I knew where I was, and that was the youth leadership program. And then from there, my great beginning led me to another door, which is the Malton Community Toastmasters Club. And I'm here, I'm constantly learning, and everything for me is a great beginning over here now. Back to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Answer. Thank you, Mohammed. Next question would be about our word of the day, hyperbole. And I would like to ask Anupama, have you ever used hyperbole like in your when you're in your story or when you read the literature something? So would you like to share at least one sentence of that? That would be great. Yeah, thank you.
Sure, thanks, Miss Table Topic Master. That was an interesting topic for me. The reason is this word, I actually, when I go to work, I usually listen CBC, and this was the word used by one host, and that time I was thinking, what would be the meaning of this word? And I really liked the word. And then I went to work, I searched for that word, I searched for how it was used in different sentences. And then I took even role in Toastmaster and choose that word, but I didn't find that many people used hyperbole in their sentences. But I really like this word, like the way that person in his conversation used this word. I really like, and I thought I will use this word most oftenly whenever I need to use on that. And I think this is good word to learn. And I will not like to hyperbole now by saying that, yes, we should not actually use this when we in our professional life. We just make that statements which are really in fact. It's not that we should hyperbole on the facts which we do not even know. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Back to you.
Thank you, Anupama. Very good explanation. Yeah, very nice. Next one. We have time. We have time for one more question. Timer. Can I ask?
I think we have one more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Okay. I'll just ask this question to Satish sir. So what is the meaning of new beginning, and how did it change your life? Let us just give an example of share your story, something. Thank you.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. New beginning for me in my life has come many, many times. Every day is a new beginning. Many of us don't realize how fortunate you are when you open your eyes in the morning and find yourself gifted with another day. Many people who sleep never wake up. You have in your bank 24 more hours. Multiply that by 60 minutes and multiply that by the number of seconds. Think about it as that many number of movements you have to make a decision to change your life and make it better. Most of us don't even give it a second thought and carry on our day in the same rat race, day in and day out, and just complain about our situation without making any effort to change it. You have the power to change whatever you want in your life, but we don't do it, and many of us just live a life which we cannot call a living. You have a calling, you have something very specific in your life, you have a purpose. You need to understand that purpose and make a decision, make actions, just like Madanji said, just do it there are things that you should do, and there are things, just like Paul said, you should not do. Both those things need to be in balance in your life, but many of us just don't do anything about the situation we find ourselves in and carry on and blame others for where we find ourselves. Most of us are in that boat. We need to make sure that we take charge of our life and change it, and make sure we have a new beginning that we can say, we did it. Like Madanji said, he did it. We all have challenges and we all need to overcome that and be proud about what we have achieved. So looking back, as Madanji is looking back on his life, he can count all the different achievements he's had, similar to Paul and many of us. So make sure you leave a legacy that you can be proud of at some part, later in your life. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr. General.
Back to you.
Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster of the day.
I'm the guy who's going to give it to GE. It's my free will. I don't want to give it to GE today.
You have too many roles today. That's why she's getting confused.
This is not confused. Sorry. Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
You need a strong cup of coffee, Shilpa. All righty. Well, guys, wasn't it a great table topic session? I hope you all enjoyed it. We got to listen to you. And whenever table topics sessions are run and a question is asked, it is always a better practice to think 10-15 seconds, structure your speech, opening, body, and conclusion, and then just say it, just do it. It's a simple process, because if you start speaking right after a question is asked, your thoughts will go very random. But if you just give 10-15 seconds, don't hold the meeting for 5 minutes that you're thinking about topic. 10-15 seconds is a good idea. And then you can, with 10-15 seconds are very good to control your heartbeat, to control your breathing, and then start talking. Well, good job, Shilpa. Thank you very much for helping us run this section. And with that, I would like to invite our general evaluator, Mr. Satish Prabhu, up on stage and run his final session. General evaluator, please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. As we come to the final session, the general evaluation session, I would like to call on my team. I have a pool of team members who are going to help me conduct this evaluation session, and that will be started with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. So I have 2 speakers today, and to evaluate those 2 speakers so they have a proper feedback and can improve, we have 2 lovely Toastmasters who are going to take on the challenge and give a good feedback. Welcome the first evaluator, Mr. Haseen, to evaluate Madanji's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Mr. Satish. It is an honor for me to evaluate Mr. Madan Chauhan. It was a very good speech and very motivational speech I heard, I listened, and it is a great motivation for us. And which I learned, there are some lessons from his speech, which I learned that first of all, the age is only a psychological number. It is just, it has nothing to do with this, with our goals and our achievements. So it is only a number just to show in the documents. And Mr. Chauhan is the real example of this motivation. And other thing is that most of the time we fear that something will happen. Sometimes we fear that, oh, my age is, I'm too young, I'm too old, I can do this, I cannot do this, something like that. So these are the self-imposed barriers which we impose ourselves. So these are I really enjoyed this speech. There are so many other lessons which I learned, but and the content of the speech was very good. It was also well composed. There were some other things which I like to mention, that it could be better. First of all, his internet connection was very weak. So that is the, it was going on, like there were so many interruptions, but also I realized that Mr. Chauhan's energy level was a little bit low today. He was just sitting. So it would be better that if you could stand and because I couldn't see the body language, the hand gestures while he was sitting. And other thing which I noticed, that he was also very serious today. Like there could be smile, just it could be much better. And also, so these were the only things. Maybe he would have a long day today, so that's why he would be sitting. But overall, this was a very good speech, and really I learned that so many things, and the overall the content of the speech, and that was fine. So I really appreciate and a really motivational speech. Thank you so much. Over to General Evaluator, Mr. Satish.
Today his wife was sitting next to him, so that was why he was serious.
Thank you, Haseen. That was a wonderful evaluation, and I see you're maturing as an evaluator. You're making great strides to use some hyperbole in the way you conduct yourself in these meetings. Wonderful. Let's move on to our second evaluator, and I would like to call on Anupama to evaluate Paul's keynote speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator Mr. Satish. So today I am evaluating our amazing speaker, Mr. Paul. It was really fantastic speech. I really like, we usually hear, just do it, but we hardly hear, just don't do it. It was a wonderful topic, and how you present it, it was really great. Sharing your stories and giving the message of think before you think to do it, and apologize was really great. Messages was given in your speech. Your whole story, your whole speech, I noticed that in the contents of your speech, you are delivering that message. There was message everywhere, that think before you think to do something. In the beginning, the opening of your speech was wonderful. It was totally engaging the audience. You asked the question, which let me think about that. Really? Am I doing that? Should I think about what we do not need to do it? It was really awesome, Paul. And then sharing your story, which was really giving a message of what kind of things you can lose if you do not think before you doing it, as you lost 1 year of academic. Like it was great. It was really big loss for you. Losing 1 year, I believe it is big thing. and you share what we need to do, when we have to think, just do it, what kind of things we should think. When we have to donate something, we can think, yes, just do it. But there are some of the things we have to think if we take decision of just do it. Like if we are having this Toastmaster meeting, we have to think about our time. Good example of that. And conclusion, I really like the conclusion. So just one word of apologizing can save your 1 year. It was big thing, small word, and it was a great message to every one of us. About your appearance, Mal, you really look professional today. You're wearing professional clothes and you look amazing and professional. Your eye contact, I really love. I have more good things to say. I don't know, I have to find out hardly what feedback I should give. The only thing I would say, you can move, like I saw your hand gesture totally matching with what you want to actually say to us. But I would, just one thing I would suggest is you was just standing one way and you always moving your hands, how you want to say, but you can change your direction and can little bit move from your place. That's one thing I just noticed, but otherwise your eye contact, your hand, I really love how you use that in today's meeting. It was really fulfilling the purpose of your speech, which was delivering your message, using that your content should deliver the message, and that was 100%. But you need to just look at the one thing, just moving, which will show more reality in what you want to say. I really love your speech, Mr. Paul. Keep it up. Thank you.
Anupama, thank you for the evaluation. I'm sure Paul will follow through on some of the feedback that you have given. And for some reason, it looks like after you spoke, you lost some height. Hopefully, it is not because of all the speaking you did. There you go. We still see you. Okay. Thank you for that wonderful feedback. And let's move on to this other report that we are going to have. First, starting with our quiz master. Who is the quiz master for today?
Listen.
Yes, it's me, Haseen.
Mr. Haseen.
Okay, Haseen.
And how much time I have?
You can ask
have
4 or 5
3
questions.
minutes.
Maybe about 1 minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. So
No, sorry, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay.
Everyone can unmute their microphones at this point. Don't wait, don't raise your hand, just say the answer.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
no formality required. Please unmute yourself, everyone. It is a firing round.
Yes, Mr. Madan Chauhan mentioned one famous person who said, don't say, just do it. So what is the name of that person?
Madan Chauhan.
So, no, the person he quoted.
Person who quoted just do it?
Yes, no, don't say it, just do it. He mentioned one person, is a famous person. So what is the name of
I
him?
do remember
I
that
also
guy
heard the name.
Yes.
running in my head.
No, it's like Walt Disney.
Walt Disney.
Disney
Yes.
World.
Yes,
Kind of,
Disney,
yeah.
yes. And other thing is that what was the initial of Mr. Paul in India?
DPS.
DPS. Devinder Pal Singh.
Oh, that's good. And Mr. Farid mentioned his goal, like the new year, he wants to improve his in job. But what was other goal?
He wants to marry.
Wants to marry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Anupama mentioned one TV channel. What was that?
CP24.
No, it's a CBC. CBC News.
CBC.
Yes. And Mr. Paul was attending which class, like which subject was he was
Biology.
attending?
Biology.
No, zoology.
Zoology. Okay.
Am I right, Mr. Paul?
Yes, sir, you are
Yes.
right.
And
Bio includes both.
okay. And one more thing, Mr. Chauhan, he took admission in Seneca at what age?
61.
Oh, that's good. And this is another question that Mr. Madan Chauhan, he moved from India in which year?
1963.
Yes, you're right. So that's all for the day. Over to General Evaluator, Mr.
Thank
Satish.
Thank
you very
you,
much.
Asin. That was a very well you challenged us, and I think they were very challenging questions that you asked. Very nicely done, and I think we lived up to the challenge, right? We had different people listening to different people, and we all managed to make it. Let's call on our grammarian for the grammarian's report. Shilpa.
Got 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator of the day. As I have an R counter report, and I think 1 or 2 times we have used R, including me, I used 1 time, and Mr. Haseen 1 time. And yeah, 2 or 3 times. So not many, that's good. Not many R's. And hyperbole, the word of the day was given as 10 times minimum by all of the speakers. And 1 time Mr. Paul has used in his speech. And 1 time I have used in my table topics master questions. And 1 time Mohammed, and 3 times by Anupama, and Satish sir has 1 time. So total 7 times. If any addition or anyone want to say on this report, you can add it something, but according to me, it's 7 times. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Shilpa. That was a wonderful report. You also used it 1 time. So if you want to add it, just when you are doing the report, you use the word hyperbole, and now I used it once, so that makes it 9, right? Yeah. And all this is making me so hungry I can eat a horse. And, by the way, that was an example of a hyperbole statement. So let me wrap up as a general evaluator's report.
Timer report you will.
Oh yeah, timer's report. Thank you.
Should I do after yours?
No, I think you can. Yeah, you can do.
No,
that.
because I'm time you as well.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's do that. So here is my final report. We started the meeting maybe a couple of minutes late because we were in the educational session, and that education session just kind of spilled into our time, and we were just trying to gather together. So maybe we can do a better job by trying to wrap up at least a few minutes before 6 o'clock, so we are ready to go at 6. We don't have our SAA, and I think Paul did a wonderful job by sending out the agenda, getting the meeting ready, and filling in as the SAA for today's meeting. Wonderful way we all come together and fill roles for the meeting. But I think there is scope for us to be more efficient so that we don't do that in the meeting. We can try and help our Paul, our VP Education, Paul Chimar, to make sure we run an efficient meeting by signing up. And once you sign up, stay committed to the meeting. I think this is one thing I have found that is lacking in the club. Is we sign up, but then we take it very lightly and don't show up. And I think that is a bad precedent for any club anywhere. So if you are committed and you have signed up, please make sure you stay in. And now, I think the speeches were wonderful. Both, I just find it very funny that one speech says just do it, and the other one says just don't do it. I have never had that situation in any club meeting, but very opposing views of two different people. But I think the way both had a great message, both had wonderful experiences that came from personal experiences, personal life, and help everyone who have been listening to it to understand and take those messages and be a better person. Wonderful speeches. The evaluators also did a wonderful job. But when we evaluate, we need to also make sure that there are growth points that we give. And let's focus on giving growth points to the speakers. They are all veteran speakers. So we need to be very good about how we give our evaluation and make sure that there is something for them to take away and grow from that as well. Rather than just saying they were great, we should also give them at least 2 or 3 points that you can give them to say, this is how you can grow. Let's do that from the next meeting going forward. The quiz master, wonderful again, Haseen, I've seen you grow very well, and I hope you keep continuing to grow and mature. I see a great leader in you. You are very committed, you are punctual, and you're also growing. And you have been also doing some marathon speeches. So you are living up to being an ideal Toastmaster. So if there was any prize that I can give for a rookie Toastmaster, I would give it to you as a rookie of the year, Haseen Ahmed, and same with Shilpa. What a wonderful grammarian session, and what, I don't know where you found the word, but it's a hyperbole. Hyperbole is something that we never use, but it's great. We use sentences that when we make mountains out of molehills, which is again an example of a hyperbole. We use that, but we don't know what we are saying. And this is exactly what hyperbole stands for. So nice selection of that word. We have to have this quality meeting as we go forward. So let's all contribute, make the meetings as good as we can going forward. And thereby I rest my general evaluation report. I will now ask the timer to give his report. Thank you.
I have something
Thank
to
you
say.
very much. Yeah, you have a question, Shilpa?
No, I just want to share something.
Okay.
Well,
You want
can
to
we,
wait?
can we take it
continue
after
with
the meeting, Shilpa? We're still here.
Yeah.
Okay. The timing. Thank you very much. Mr. DPSC took 19.09 seconds. Very good, because he became DPX. Then I don't know, my speech, I think mine was over 7 minutes because of the internet. And the table topics I have, Farid took only about 46 seconds. Muhammad took 1.42 minutes. Anupama took 1.38 minutes. And speech took 3.15 minutes. And for the evaluation, Hassan took 3.02 minutes. Anupama took 4.28 minutes. And the other timings for a grammarian, Sherpa only for 56 seconds. And Quizmaster Hassan took 2 minutes. GE, Mr. President, stage 4.15 minutes. And I don't know how much I took.
Okay.
That's back to you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank
Toastmaster
you,
of the day.
Thank you, Madanji. Thank you so much. And wonderful way to wrap up the meeting. So I will pass it back to the Toastmaster, Paul. Please take over.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, but you could have continued because There's nothing else. I only have to adjourn the meeting. You can give your final remarks. We can take feedback from our new member, Mr. Fareed Qureshi.
Yeah.
And then
Thank
we
you.
can call it a day, and I will quickly share my screen with you. And I would suggest you that we should cancel our meeting on 2nd of January
June,
because
January,
we will.
yeah.
So we should basically move over to the 16th, and we can do the roles. I can assign the roles, and we can do it differently. So rather than spending time here.
Sure, yeah, we can, yeah, definitely, we can do that later as well.
Yeah, is everyone okay calling of the meeting on for 2nd January, or you want to come here for 2nd January?
16th is okay.
16th is
Fantastic.
okay. Okay, perfect.
Just do it. Okay.
Just, yeah. Just do
do
it
it and
because
wish you all the
Paul
best.
just did not want to do it.
So I will sit down now for a second.
Sure, sure.
I
All right.
wish you all and everyone a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas if
We will
you're
still be here, Mr.
celebrating it,
Chauhan.
and
Mr.
wishing you all a new year.
Mr. Chauhan, we will still be here. Let's call the meeting off first, and then we
Yeah.
can talk.
Yeah, so
We can wish all before they leave. Somebody will leave. So just don't do it and just do it.
Don't just do it.
All right, can I give my last remarks as a president? So we
Yes,
can wrap up. Thank you again for a wonderful session, everyone. We all came together as great leaders, great communicators, and made this meeting something that we can remember by. Nice speeches. Let's continue this into the New Year's. Let's come back with a new, whatever your New Year's resolution is for the next year. Hope that you work on it, work hard on it. We are here to support you. If it has anything to do with you becoming better as a speaker or as a leader and what you can do, I am always available. I am just a phone call away. We are all on a WhatsApp group. You can always reach me, and it doesn't have to be in a professional capacity. You can always reach out in a social capacity. Or even if you just wanted to say hi, you say hi, I wanted to just talk to you and say hi. That's also a good sign of staying in touch, of being a better person. We are not here only to spend 1 hour. We can also have our bonding extended out into the other spheres of our life. So if you feel you need to talk on any subject, anything that I can help you with, or maybe Madanji can help you with, or Paul can help you with, please reach out and talk to us. If we can, we will help you. I think we are all good people in many ways, and that's why we are here, right? So let's continue this affair. I wish you, on behalf of Malton Community Toastmasters Club, you, your family, and your friends, the very best of the holidays and the New Year's. May the Almighty bless you with the choicest blessings that He has and make your wishes come true in the new year. And I hope that the Almighty takes away this big thing that we have been living under for the last 2.5 years. So we are free of COVID and we are still able to meet in person. I am looking for the day when we can meet and have our meetings just the way we did before COVID. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. And I will now ask our guest, Mr. Fareed, for some of his comments. If he had any feedback, what did he feel after? Did he make a good choice? And if there are any comments that he has. Fareed, 1 or 2 sentences, please.
Like figuring out grammar and all, and some filler like that is a good thing that we are being figure out whatever we are speaking, and yeah, that's it.
So you wanted to say that that's something that you found very interesting, is that what you want to
Yeah,
say? Okay.
yeah,
So that's
feedback
the
should be
part
there.
that you were, okay. Yeah,
Mm.
so that is something that we all have, and even me, I also struggle sometimes, but it's the practice of staying and meeting and being in the habit of giving speeches, talking, is what's going to make you better. And that's what we do here, right? And we try to improve ourselves, we help each other. We do not point mistakes. We don't say you did something wrong. There is no such thing as word wrong here. We just say you can improve, you can do it this way rather than the way you did, right? And that's how it's called constructive feedback. And that's what Toastmasters is all about. And that's why it is growing and it's making better people out of every other people who join here. They are on a path that they decide. So when you join, you will decide on a path that you want to take out of the 16 or 17, 11 paths that we have, and over 200 competencies that you can grow. You will decide on something and we can go forward with that. So thank you for your feedback, and I hope you stay committed to your goals.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So let's, I will pass it back to our Paul Chima as the SAA to adjourn the meeting, and then we can still stay in the parking lot and continue our discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. We all enjoyed the meeting and great new things to learn. I'm not going to repeat everything, but our next meeting would be on 16th of January. Enjoy 2nd January at home, because I know many will be in, what do you call, hangover situation of the first year, the first day of the year. So we'll see you on 16th, and I call this meeting officially adjourned. Take care.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you.